Okay, we're going to solve this equation by completing the square. Now, this factors, so we could solve it by factoring, but we're going to use completing the square to demonstrate it. So, completing the square, here's what you do. You make sure that your leading coefficient is 1, okay? And then take half of your b, or your x, your coefficient of your x term, take half of that and square it, and you're going to add that and subtract it from the same side of the equation. Why am I doing that, you ask? Well, because now when I do that, oops, let me change colors. Now I can factor those things. What does x squared plus 6x plus 9 factor into? It factors into x plus 3 squared. Because that's why I put that there. That's why I put half of this squared there, because that always works when you do that. Foil it out and you'll see x plus 3 times x plus 3 equals x squared plus 6x plus 9, which is what I have right there. So that's what I have there, but then I also have on the outside, I still have these two things, and what's 8 minus 9? Negative 1. Okay, now why in the heck would I want to do that, you ask? Well, there's a couple reasons. The first reason is because if you're graphing it, it's easy to find the vertex. If it was this, your vertex is the opposite of this. Your vertex is negative 3 comma negative 1. Just like that, you found your vertex. The other reason it's nice is because if you have this, now to solve for x, all I have to do is strip the equation of everything until I get x by itself. So add 1. Take the square root of both sides, and don't forget when you take the square root to put plus or minus there, and then subtract 3. I could even do it in kind of one step without even thinking very hard about it. You see how I did that? So what does that equal? Plus or minus 1 minus 3, which is it's 1 minus 3 and negative 1 minus 3. So it's negative 2 and negative 4. Those are your two answers. So that's how you complete the square. Let's do a harder one. Okay. Let's factor this. I'm sorry, let's complete the square in this. Notice this one doesn't factor. Notice the one before, this one did factor. At the very beginning, I could have factored into x minus 4 and x minus 2, and that would have been a lot easier. Sorry, x plus 4 and x plus 2, and that would have been a lot easier to find those two solutions. But for this one, I'm going to do what? Take half of this, which is 1, and square it, and add it here, and subtract it here. That gives me that, which factors into x plus 1 squared. And that also gives me plus 4 equals 0. Got it? Now let's solve. How do I solve? Negative 4. Now I'm going to do this one with a little bit more steps, because see how I have a negative 4? So when I take the square root of both sides, what am I going to get?
The I.
Yeah, I'm going to get the I. So really what I have is plus or minus, don't forget the plus or minus, 2i, because the square root of negative 1 is equal to I. Complex numbers, go check out another video if you don't know that. And then x just equals negative 1, and I always put that in front, the real number part in front, plus or minus 2i. There are your two answers. Negative 1 plus 2i, negative 1 minus 2i.